These are blind policies. Uganda's exports to Kenya are either equal to our imports from there or sometimes they are higher.
President Ruto's government is indeed becoming a pain in the ass, not only within Kenya, but also among neighboring nations, notably Uganda. What was once a diplomatic romance between Uganda's President Yoweri Museveni and Kenya's President William Ruto has now soured, leading to a turbulent diplomatic relationship. Uganda has taken the drastic step of seeking intervention from the East African Court of Justice to salvage its deteriorating ties with Kenya. And the root cause of this dispute revolves around the oil industry.
Hello, my name is Chief Okuzo from Plug TV.
Uganda has formally lodged a complaint against Kenya, accusing President Ruto's government of imposing impractical restrictions on the Uganda National Oil Company, UNOC, to access the Kenyan pipeline company KPC system for transporting petroleum products from the port of Mombasa. Now, this dispute escalated with Uganda's Attorney General filing a case at the East African Court of Justice on December 28, 2023. The allegations center on Kenya's alleged breach of various articles within the EAC Treaty and the Protocol for the Establishment of the East African Community Common Market. Uganda contends that it should not require a license from the Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority (EPRA) to utilize the KPC system for petroleum transport. Among the remedies sought by Uganda is a declaration that the restrictions imposed by EPRA, along with a court order from Kenya that blocked the issuance of a license to UNOC, violate the provisions of the EAC Treaty. Furthermore, Uganda demands that Kenya provides UNOC with commercial terms for utilizing the Kenya Pipeline Company system that are no less favorable than those offered to similar service providers from other partner states or third parties. This dispute initially flared up in late 2023 when Uganda implemented a policy shift, designating UNOC as the sole importer and supplier of petroleum products for its market. Kenya had initially promised unwavering support for this policy change, but disagreements emerged during the implementation phase. UNOC sought to establish a storage and transportation agreement with KPC, which necessitated various regulatory requirements, including obtaining an import, export, and wholesale license for petroleum products from EPRA. Now, these regulations, as argued by Uganda's Attorney General, included incorporating UNOC as a company or branch in Kenya, which Uganda saw as an unnecessary obstacle.
These are blind policies. In the early years of our government, Museveni at one time closed the border. But I rejected the arguments for retaliation because some people say, oh, we must retaliate. I said, I cannot retaliate. I cannot. If he has closed, let him close, but me, I will not retaliate. Today, Uganda's exports to Kenya are either equal to our imports from there or sometimes they are higher. So by refusing to be in that mistake, the issue of Kenya and Uganda border issues was resolved. Rationality cannot be ignored indefinitely. We shall continue discussing with our East African community partners, and I'm sure we shall end up with a real common market free of non-tariff barriers, because those barriers hurt the wananchi of all our countries. I've just given you the simple example of banning rice. You hurt the Uganda consumers, you hurt the Tanzanian producers. So if there is mobilization, actually some people think they get popularity out of that. But if you get good mobilization, those who are doing that can get can really be exposed.
Now, despite registering a branch in Kenya to process the license, EPRA imposed additional requirements such as a certificate of incorporation CR12 from the registrar of companies, identity documents for directors, valid work permits for foreign directors in Kenya, and tax compliance certificates from the Kenya Revenue Authority (KRA). The applications was ultimately rejected in September 2023, citing a failure to meet specific criteria. Uganda's Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development requested a waiver of certain requirements from Kenya, but before a response could be received, a case was filed in the High Court, obtaining orders that blocked EPRA from issuing the license. Uganda claims that these actions contravene various articles of the EAC Treaty and the East African Community Common Market Protocol. In response, Mr. Rashid Musa Otika, the acting general manager of the National Pipeline Company Limited, emphasized that UNOC's sole intention is to access and use Kenya's petroleum infrastructure for importing and supplying petroleum products to Uganda OMCs. Uganda argued that it has the right, as per the treaty and the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, to access the sea and enjoy freedom of transit through Kenya territory by all means of transport. Currently, Uganda imports 90% of its refined petroleum products through the port of Mombasa, with KPC handling the transportation. Traditionally, this has been managed through oil marketing companies or OMCs operating in Kenya, which in turn supplies the products to Uganda's OMCs. Uganda, being landlocked, claims that this heavy reliance on Kenya OMCs has exposed it to supply vulnerabilities, leading to an increase in fuel pump prices. And this dispute between Uganda and Kenya over oil-related matters continues to unfold. And at the end of the day, I don't know what's gonna happen between these two nations. Na nakwambia, indeed, President Ruto's government is not joking, man. What are your thoughts? Leave your thoughts in our comment section. That is it for now. Thanks for watching. Let's meet next time. Bye-bye.